Craig and Tim clips.
The Mandela Effect.
Okay, hooray. It's time for the topic of the day.
So, the topic of the day today, Tim, is the Mandela Effect. And I know that you don't know a ton about the Mandela Effect.
I know enough that if you prompted me with a question,
I know enough.
With a question, that I would fully understand it.
I'm gonna literally just pause it there. I know enough. Cut it right there.
That'll be one short, eh? Just like 3 seconds.
I know enough. Grumpy Tim. So let me set the stage for what the Mandela Effect is.
Yeah.
Just to open up your brain and close your eyes and think about this.
About yoga again.
The Mandela Effect is a phenomenon that has left scientists, conspiracy theorists, and curious minds alike scratching their heads. It's a peculiar observation that a significant portion of the population remembers events that never happened or are remembered incorrectly. Our story begins with Fiona Brome, a paranormal researcher who unwittingly became a pioneer in the field of collective false memories. It started in 2010 at a conference where she discovered something truly baffling. A startling number of attendees shared her vivid memory of Nelson Mandela, the former president of South Africa, dying in prison during the 1980s. The catch? Mandela was released from prison in 1990, and he's very much alive at the time of that conference. This is why they call it the Mandela Effect. But the Mandela Effect isn't confined to mere memory glitches. It goes beyond that, venturing into the realm of alternate realities. Enthusiasts of quantum theory suggest that this phenomenon offers compelling evidence for the existence of the multiverse, which, I was watching Loki and it's all about the multiverse. I feel like every movie, every superhero thing going on right now is all about the multiverse, and it's driving me nuts. But anyways, I digress. The theory posits that within each universe, a parallel realities and alternate versions of events and objects coexist, occasionally crossing paths with our own timeline. It's mind-boggling concept that raises profound questions about the very nature of reality, yet not everyone is sold on the multiverse theory. In the world of psychology, the Mandela Effect is sometimes compared to déjà vu, with the explanation lying in the human capacity for confabulation. Confabulated memories are unintended distortions that can be as vivid as real events, often associated with the brain's frontal lobes, and they're not intended to deceive. But there's more to the story.
Go on.
Some believe the Mandela Effect is connected to conspiracies involving Large Hadron Collider. Large Hadron Collider? LHC? And the rupture of the space-time continuum. Others speculate that it ties to the Others speculate that it's tied to flat Earth theories, while some simply think it's a byproduct of our minds playing tricks on us. So whether it's parallel universes, brain confabulation, conspiracies, or simple mind games, the Mandela Effect continues to perplex and intrigue.
Okay, so before we talk about this anymore, give me the questions you gave me in the summer to kind of explain what examples of
that's what I got next for you here.
Okay.
So, peanut butter. Is it Jiff or Jiffy? Is it Jiffy or JIF?
Jiff, I think, without the FY at the end. Am I right?
You're correct.
Okay.
But is that how you remember it?
Give a couple more things, and I don't want to give my opinion yet.
Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Is it TUNES or TOONS?
TUN.
Yeah, you're correct.
Okay. 2 for 2.
Berenstein Bears. How do you spell Berenstein?
BERN. No, sorry. BERENSTEIN.
Wrong.
Okay.
It's AIN. It's Berenstein Bears.
Berenstain. Okay. Not the Berenstein family.
Did Curious George have a tail? The monkey?
I know Curious George. I'm trying to remember if he had a tail.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Okay.
You didn't.
I wanted to say no, but then I said yes.
And Febreze. Is it spelled? How do you spell Febreze?
FEBREEZE.
No, it's E-Z-E.
E-Z-E, okay.
Only one E. Oscar Mayer.
M-E-Y-E-R-S.
M-A-Y-E-R.
Okay.
Mayer. It's Oscar Mayer.
Oscar Mayer.
We'll give you one more.
Like
Fruit Loops.
Well, what about the movie?
We're going to do the movie in a second.
You can do this.
Yeah.
Okay. We're on products now.
Fruit Loops.
Okay. F-R-O-O-P?
P?
Fruit Loops? F-R-R-O-O-T.
Yeah, it's spelled with fruit, like F-R-O-O-T,
Yeah.
Fruit Loops.
Okay.
So this all stems from a movie. I think the biggest one is the movie.
Okay.
And the movie was called Shazam.
Right.
With Sinbad.
Okay, and you asked me, do you remember the movie called Shazam with Sinbad? And I was like, I think so. Sure. It's like, he's never been in a movie called Shazam, you dummy. You just remembered incorrectly, right?
Yeah. So there's people that are like trying to find a physical copy of this movie.
Yeah.
Sinbad has come out and said, I've never been in this movie.
Yeah.
I vividly remember watching Shazam. And everyone's like, no, you're talking about Kazam.
Right.
And I'm like, no, I've never seen Shaq play a genie before.
Right.
I have seen Sinbad play a genie before in Shazam.
Right.
And here's the funny part. He has gone so far to actually make a trailer for this movie to make fun of the people that remember the movie.
Right.
I'm going to introduce myself. I am Shazam! I'm the genie of the lamp.
Because he doesn't have a career anymore.
But like the funny thing is like I remember this stuff.
Okay.
So I remember.
This is the part that drives me nuts. It's like, because I think one of the things that was referenced is it's just your brain is so faulty sometimes. The things we remember incorrectly all the time.
Does the Monopoly man have a monocle?
First of all, what's a monocle?
The one eyeglass.
I don't remember. But we want to guess. We want to fill in the blank. I think when you're...
Okay, so did he have a monocle?
No. Well, no. So what's this one on the left?
The ones with the monocle?
Yeah.
And ones without?
No, he didn't.
He didn't have a monocle?
I don't know. I'm guessing.
He doesn't have one.
Okay.
But they might be mistaking him with Planter's Peanut, who had a monocle.
Okay, so I don't know much about psychology.
Yeah.
But typically, when your brain tries to fill in blanks, when it doesn't know,
yeah,
and it sometimes fills them incorrectly. That's just typically that's what happens. But now it drives me nuts when we take something like that and we just go into the multiverse all of a sudden. We take this little shred of misinformation or your brain filling in incorrectly, and we go to all of a sudden,
but it's not
Scott and Doc Brown is sending us into the future and past.
It's not a shred of misinformation though. Fruit of the Loom.
Yeah. Do
you remember the cornucopia that used to be behind it?
No. I'm very unfamiliar with any of the Fruit of the Loom branding.
Okay. This is really hard for somebody to explain to you because you won't remember this stuff. But
again, how does not remembering something correctly lead to any of this?
I guess the main thing is I remember the Sinbad show. I remember the cornucopia on Fruit of the Loom. I remember the monocle on the guy from Monopoly.
Right.
I remember Febreze spelled E-E-Z-E.
Right.
Now, the theory behind all of this is that there was that collider, and when it went off, the two worlds actually went together.
Say that again.
This is where we're going to get really scientific.
Right.
Because I have a very scientific brain.
Right.
There's 5 of me here.
Yeah.
Or there's 5 people here.
Yeah.
Which include me, you, Dave, Matthew, and Ryan.
Okay.
There's me, you, Dave, Matthew, Ryan.
Yeah.
We're running on the same plane.
Right.
But we're in 2 different worlds.
Yeah.
What happened was these worlds went together, and some of me, and then you, and then Dave, and then Ryan, and then Matthew, one of those people became that person.
Right.
So what it's basically saying is that for a while there was 2 of you running on one time plane.
So that's one.
And then they squished the time plane together, and now there can't be 2 of you in the world. So
that's one explanation of why you remember something that didn't actually exist.
Yes, because you've actually taken over the time frame
Yeah.
of somebody else.
To me, that is the most illogical explanation of that situation. It is not the most logical explanation.
Now think about it though. So my person
Yeah.
went through the world,
Yeah.
saw Shazam, saw the monocle, saw the cornucopia,
I get your
and
explanation.
then I got merged with
Yeah.
the other person.
Right.
But my brain went into that person's
Yeah.
body.
I completely understand what you're saying in your explanation. I just think it's wonky and don't believe it at all.
Is there a time frame of your life that you don't remember?
I don't remember anything till I was 4 or 5 years old.
Yes, obviously.
None.
You know my very first memory? Have I ever told you my very first memory?
No.
My very first memory was of the day my brother was born.
Holy cow.
I was 2.5 years old.
Oh my gosh.
And my parents think this is the weirdest thing that I remember.
Yeah.
But I remember waking up in that house, walking out of my bedroom, walking out of the, like, my room is here. I walked out, looked to the right, living room. My aunt is there folding laundry.
Yeah.
And I said, "Where's mom?" And my aunt said, "Oh, she's going to have your baby brother."
Right.
And, you know,
So
I don't remember my mom being pregnant.
Right.
I don't remember anything about that house prior. I don't remember my brother being a baby.
Yeah.
I don't remember any of that stuff.
Right.
I do remember walking out of the room.
Yeah.
And my parents didn't tell me this story over and over again.
Yeah.
This is an actual memory that I can physically remember seeing.
I completely believe.
But I don't remember anything else.
So my wife has memories for when I want to say 1 years old to 2 years old, something like really, really young,
Yeah.
like between 1 and 2. And her mom would be like, "There's no way you can remember that." And she would say, "No, I remember this. I remember how this looked, whatever."
Yeah.
And she's like, she remembers that like clear as day. And like I said, I don't remember a single thing till I was 5. Not one thing.
And I have a really good memory in general.
Yeah.
If you ask Lorraine and you say, you know, like, how's Greg's memory? She'd be like, "Oh, he remembers the weirdest things."
Yeah.
Like, I can remember smell. If I smell something, it'll take me to a memory. If I see something, it'll take me to a memory. If I hear something,
They say that babies, if I'm not mistaken, I could be, but if I'm not mistaken, babies do have the ability to remember just like any other individual of any age. The problem is they don't have the importance to associate between events. So when
Mhm.
you can't associate the importance between events and activities, your brain tends to forget them. So they
Yeah.
don't have that association. That's why you don't remember typically. And again, my wife,
Yeah.
seem to remember these things when they're quite young. Typically, the memories don't exist before a certain age.
Yeah.
That's my understanding.
It's strange. Like, there's a lot of things that, like, you asked me, you know, what's the first game you remember going to, and I think you asked me off camera for that. And like, I can remember sitting in my basement watching the 1991 Grey Cup
Right.
vividly.
Yeah.
And
But
I was 11 years old.
Even as adults, we forget things that we typically don't put importance of. Like I'll every movie that my wife and I talk about watching, she'd be like, "We've never watched this," and every time I was like, "No, we have," but it's just not.
But then there's a period of my life where I don't remember anything.
Yeah.
And it's not when I was a baby.
Right.
Like, there's a small period of my life
Right.
that I don't want to go into.
Right.
That I literally don't remember.
Right.
Like, it's like there was a lost amount of time there. And I'm wondering if that's when the collider hit.
See, and that's when I go nuts and go like literally the most illogical explanation of a situation
Yeah.
is what's happening now. It's like, you know, we could just misremembering events because that's what our brain does, or we're in the multiverse because that's more fun and exciting.
It is. It's more fun and exciting.
I guess everyone
Do you ever feel that, though, that like Hollywood is emulating the world?
just see what you mean by Adam ruins everything.
Yeah, you are ruining it. Not Adam, but like, it should be called Tim Ruins
The
Everything.
show. I'm referring to the show.
Why don't we have Tim Ruins Everything in the
Do
episode?
you remember the show Tim
Yes.
Ruins Everything?
No, it's called Adam Ruins
No,
Everything.
do you remember it? The
No,
show
I
called
don't.
because it was in a multiverse. It was in a different universe, and the show existed, and it was starring a guy named Tim. And it's the only reason I remember that is because I was in a different universe.
Anyway, so I do think that there's something that could explain it. And it could be just that frontal lobe. It could be just your brain putting things into your head. But it's interesting to think about. And you know what? If you cared at all, which you don't care about the Mandela effect for the most part, I know you don't. But if you cared at all about
that's
it,
not true.
and you bring it up at like a gathering of some sort, you could speak about this conversation. Like you can speak about these situations for hours.
So I do think it's bunk. However, it is interesting. I will grant you that. And you spoke about it in the summer. And it is interesting. Whether it's complete phooey, I think it is. But it is interesting. So I get how you would enjoy, talking about it. And even if I am right, and it's bunk.
But
that's why we do these shows, right? So we can debate back and forth.
The fact that it's called the Mandela Effect, like I wasn't old enough to know what happened to Mandela in the 80s, right?
I'm a bit older, so I do remember that.
So do you remember him dying in jail?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Of course not.
Well, there's some people that do.
There's a whole
which
big,
is super
there's
weird.
a whole big thing when he got freed.
But why do some people think he died?
Because people are dumb.
But why is there a group of people?
Because there's
like it's not like, okay, it's a group of people that all like hang out together.
I've never heard of
it's like random people.
I have never heard of anybody in my life that thought Nelson Mandela died in prison. Never, not one.
They literally have
Who are these they? Who's they?
Okay. There is literally an effect called the Mandela Effect.
Yeah, because some lady did a thesis on it.
No, it could be called the Shazam Effect.
Right.
Because in my mind, it's the Shazam Effect.
Right.
In your mind, it's the Mandela Effect. In the world's mind, it's the Mandela. Like it's an interesting thing to talk about. And bringing it up at parties is always fun because people do remember different things differently.
Right.
I think
absolutely.
Yeah.
People remember the brain is crazy how it just remembers. Lots of other examples were, but again, that's faulty. Our brains are faulty.
Faulty towers.
It fills in information.
Remember faulty towers?
Correct. No.
Thanks for watching the Greg and Tim Show podcast. See you again next week. Remember to share, like, and subscribe.